I'm David Anfosi. I'm the producer of Deus Ex Human Revolution. I'm the daddy, in fact. I'm the employee number 2 here. So I had to build the team, prepare the budget, the planning, and support. Give my best to support the team, to produce the game.
Okay, so here we are, almost a week and a half away from shipping. What has been the most exciting part of the last couple of years in building this product?
Everything was new, for us. As I said, a new studio revived the Deus Ex franchise, which is very complex to produce, to be honest, with a new team and everything. So it was very difficult, very a nightmare, to be honest.
Sure. But
what a great adventure for us. We at the end, I'm very happy with two things, in fact, because we are very close. The final result is very close to what we envisioned at the beginning. Very, very close. And the second thing is that we build a very strong team, and the team will stay together for the future. So I'm very happy with that.
Sure. Talking about that team, I noticed that you've picked up a lot of folks that I recognize. You've got some Splinter Cell folks out there. Mm-hmm. You've got some Thief folks all the way back from Looking Glass. Can you talk a little bit about the composition of the team?
Yeah, mainly, we all work on different AAA titles. I used to work on Splinter Cell, Chaos Theory also, Prince of Persia, different kind of game. There is guys from Avatar, from Rainbow Six, many guys from Ubisoft, to be honest. But because we used to work over there, there is guys from EA, from different profiles. The good thing is that we have a lot of different mechanics into the game. It's a Deus Ex game, so you have stealth, combat, hacking, and social. And I've been able to recruit people that are always comfortable with different mechanics. So the challenge has been to put that together, to make that very intuitive and smooth, to let the player play how he wants to play. So, yeah.
Talking a little bit about that, the concept of choice is always kind of tricky. Yeah. So in a lot of games they say you have choice, but your choices are usually analog. You can go left or you can go right, but there's really very little choice. Talk a little bit about the choice in Deus Ex.
And you're right. Here it's not just about the topography, the multipath. It's also about real choices through your actions. So you will have to, because we give you the tools to play how you want to play, that will be your choice to play it as you want to play it. For example, at some point you have to enter into the police station, and here you have a guy. This guy, because you used to be with him into the SWAT team.
Right, Wayne Haas.
Wayne Haas, yeah, exactly. So here you have different tools in your hands. You can discuss with him to convince him to let you enter. You can just fight him, with a gun or whatever, or just stun him, You can choose to use the multipath because you have 3 different ways to enter into the police station. So it's that's a Deus Ex game, and the way you will decide to play the game, you will have some consequences later into the game. For example, if you decide to, if you succeed to convince him to let you enter, you will meet him again later into the game because he lost his job. So you will have to deal with this consequence into the game, maybe 4 hours into the game.
Sure. And you made promises during that interaction that you would take care of him. So I guess now you have to reap that consequence.
Yeah, you have to deal with that. And you can also force him through the conversation to let you enter. And it's different because you will have to face him, but in the bad way later into the game, because he lost his job again, but in different way, So you have to deal with that all along the game. So it's through choices. To be honest with you, the story is linear, I would say, in the sense that we have to convey very important messages, themes through the story, through the quest. So you will have to follow the story, but through the story, you have real choices.
Right. One of the development team was saying that you guys are hitting around 40 hours to do all the quests and all the side quests.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So how do you go through, as a producer, how do you script that out? That's a lot of content. How do you make sure that all ties together and that the side missions that are in there are not just important but compelling?
Yeah. What we did first, we did a small part of the game. We call that the vertical slice, sorry. So you have all the mechanics together on a small part of the game, so you can test them, and through that you can say, okay, now we have the police station, continue on that. It's a small part of the game, very small part of the game, but oh shit, it's only it's already 2 hours if you decide to do it completely, you know, with the side quest and everything. And you can extrapolate that for the entire game. So based on this vertical slice, you can, as a producer, you can extrapolate that and say, okay, now we have 30 hours of gameplay, you know, so it's enough.
Mm-hmm. Plus, there's multiple endings. How can you talk a little bit about the? I mean, obviously you can't reveal the ending, but can you talk a little about the differences in the endings? Are they big differences, or is it more just kind of summing up what you've done?
Yeah. There is 2 important things, in fact. Behind the endings, there is the game will follow your actions, your choices all along the experience, all along the quest. So if you augment your character a lot, the game will know that. If you decide to have a lot of guns or just exploit the social aspect of the game will learn that from you, and at the end, depending how you played the game, it will propose you different endings, but not all the endings, you know. But at the end, you still have a final choice. So, and the final choice are completely different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. So, if you wanted to try and sum up probably the big parts of Deus Ex, what would you say you guys are bringing to this franchise now that you're reviving it? What are the big pillars that you think make a Deus Ex game and make this game great?
The freedom, I would say, in the sense that it's pretty unique in the sense that you play the game how you want to play the game. Yeah, it could appear complex because you have a lot of different mechanics, but you are not forced to use them, all of them, sorry. So you just play as you want to play, you know. If you want to be social at some point, you will be social and the game will support it. If you, okay, I'm angry, you know, I want to kill everybody, you can do it into the same game. So that's a Deus Ex game, you know, the liberty, the freedom to play as you want to play. Yeah.
Great. Well, I want to first congratulate you, having played the game for quite a bit.
Cool.
I want to congratulate you. I think you guys have really captured what it means to be a Deus Ex game. So in that, I think you succeeded. What do you think was your biggest challenge in trying to build something? I mean, all eyes are on you, right?
Yeah.
So what was your biggest challenge?
We were lucky, to be honest, because I think we were innocent at the beginning. We did not know what we'll face, you know. It took us 4 years to nail the experience, to deliver the game. It took us 2 years, to be honest with you, to be confident that now we have a Deus Ex recipe. 2 years. So we totally underestimated the writing, for example. The story is very compelling, but it has been very rough for us, you know, at the beginning. So it took us a lot of time also, a lot of writers also to nail the story, the characters. And at the end, it was to put all these mechanics together and find the right balance. That's the recipe, you know. It took us, at the end, it took us 1 year to balance the game. 1 year. And you cannot plan that at the beginning.
Sure.
So the balancing is right now, but it took us 1 year to balance the game through more than 15 different playtests.
Now, with the praxis points and being able to spend them kind of however you please, obviously that creates some challenges in balance. Mm-hmm. What would you say was more difficult, balancing it with somebody who has a lot of augments, or trying to balance it for that player just insists on not augmenting at all?
For the second option, the only difficulty is to balance the boss fights. Mm-hmm. If you have a lot of praxis points for your augmentations, it's easy to balance, but the difficulty has been to make sure that you can learn how to use your augmentations all along the game. So we cannot give you all the praxis points at the beginning with all weapons and everything, because you would say, oh, what I can do with that and blah blah blah. So we decided to to make sure that the beginning is maybe more linear during the first hour, but you have time to learn the control, to learn how to use your praxis points, the different augmentations, to be comfortable after that into a CTE, for example, and etc., etc. So it has been a challenge to balance the beginning of the game for the new gamers, you know, and make sure that for the hardcore, the Deus Ex fan, it's compelling, it's appealing at the same time. So it has been a challenge here.
And one of the things that a lot of fans were worried about, Invisible War didn't exactly light the world on fire. I think it was probably due to mostly putting it on a console, having to kind of slim it down. What challenges did you face trying to make sure that you're appeasing those hardcore PC players and still finding a way to get it onto the consoles?
We just it was not a challenge in the sense that we just respected the first Deus Ex. To be honest, now with the new platform, you don't have the constraints you had at this time, you know, with the Xbox. So we have been able to build open space, to make that epic, to have the RPG aspect for this game. So how we build the game is that we decided to have two main pillars, the stealth and the combat. So if you are not an RPG kind of gamer, you can pass through the game with the combat and stealth. Maybe you will miss something about the story, about the depth of the universe we created, but you will be pleased with your experience, fine, you know. If you are a Deus Ex a fan, you will have to pass through 1,000 emails, you know, to understand the universe, the characters, and the conspiracy. You will have hacking also to discover new places with new guns and maybe new augmentations. You have a lot of exploration into the city hubs. The side quests are directly linked with the main story. It's not just about, okay, I have my cat in the tree, you know, could you help me with that? You know, no, it's directly linked with the main story. So it's compelling, you know. So if you can play how you want to play it and go deep as you want to go. After that, for the PC gamer, the difference is about the keyboard, sorry. And we've put a game designer on that to tweak the control mapping and make sure that it's intuitive, it fits with the current standards. We did specific playtests for the PC version also to make sure that everybody is pleased with that. And it's about that, you know, iteration, and make that good.
All right. Thank you very much, David. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.